Hello to you, my fellow Dark Ones. How are you guys doing today? How's life? During the entire length of the last episode, also the previous one, this reactor has been running. So as a result, we got a decent amount of polonium pellets, because I forgot. And I was thinking, since today I really want to try and make some antimatter, let's configure it so that it will make us some plutonium. Antimatter is something that we need for the Aldermouth star, also the QIO network, also flight, also MekaSuit, so why the hell not? Let's start it early on. It's not early, it's episode 10. I also just want to make sure that we have enough space for the waste, so that if I forget to check it today, at least it doesn't explode. So I think the only thing that I have to do is to entangle the centrifuge to the entangled block, so that the fluoride goes in there, right? That's not the one, that's the one, the PRC, I'm sorry. A bit of a fun problem with JEI. There's no recipe for plutonium, so nothing is going in. What's wrong with JEI these days? It's okay, I can relog. I think I have just relogged, we seem to be back in business and the recipe works in the PRC, which is great. Also, I have removed all the sinks, I'm using integrated dynamics, which from now on I'm actually gonna use, because this is amazing. Our previous burn rate with sinks was 27 millibuckets, now we're at 160. And yes, the temperature is a bit high, but you're good until 1200. It should not take any structural damage, that's the point. But very cool, we're getting plutonium one more time. Perfect. Although I'm a chicken, we go to 125. Yeah, just below 1000. I'm really not in a hurry. Another thing that you guys might remember is that last episode I removed our ore quintupling, so we don't need any hydrogen chloride and we don't need any sulfuric acid for ore processing. We just have phytogenic insulators. They're good. So that means I can dedicate more machines to making fissile fuel. Don't know how much more. Well, we will see. Let's get 2 more centrifuges. That will increase our capacity to 1 bucket per tick. I have added the additional isotopic centrifuges and everything seems to keep up. Well, there wasn't even a single dent in the buffers and that's really good. Except for this one. It's flickering just a teeny tiny bit. That's because we have an active reactor. It's not much, but it's using something. However, talking about antimatter, we need power. So currently my base is being powered by ultimate solar panels. We can have one more. In the request terminal, I do have a request for advanced solar panels up to an amount of 256. It is offline right now because I'm making pulsating black holes and that requires a ton of iron. Last episode we made one, this episode we're still missing 300,000 iron. Anyways, my point is we're gaining 2.4 million RF per tick and that's not much. Cause yes, later on we're going to burn fissile fuel at a rate of 1 bucket per tick, but that power is not gonna make enough antimatter. So I do need to fix a few issues. I'll be right back. So we have another set of 90 phytogenic insulators. 60 of them are for iron, 1 is for lead, and 1 is divided between lapis and lead. I have set up a timer and it does seem that we're gaining 14,000 iron ingots per minute. That's quite a bit. That's on average, so it could be 13, it could be 15, but we will see. But you can see the rate for yourself, it's not that bad. That means in a few seconds I should be able to order 1 more pulsating black hole. Yeah, 21,000 left. Now it's 20,000, now it's 19. This is good. I have ordered an extra pulsating black hole and I just realized something. Did you know that the ultimate solar panel that I have been making is actually much more expensive than a pulsating black hole? This is super expensive. Yeah, you see, a pulsating black hole requires 3 million bytes and the ultimate solar panel is almost 15 million bytes. That's quite a bit. Which does mean that one of the things that we can do to improve the speed of making solar panels is to reduce the bytes. The size of crafting depends on the number of operations that it has to do. For example, a photovoltaic cell requires iron nuggets. So that's 1 operation. And then you have to make the leadstone solar core. Lead nuggets. Anyways. Here is a sequential fabricator, and over here, instead of... I just dropped the pattern provider. I was going to say that instead of having a pattern provider, we're going to have an export bus. You know, like so. What we are going to export into that sequential fabricator is going to be lapis. You know, at an insane rate. And the pattern that we're going to have is going to be for lapis shards. Yep. We're getting the lapis. Perfect. Normally what you would use is going to be an RF Tools crafter, but lapis has an issue in this mod pack, meaning that this gives you lapis bricks from supplementaries, and you have to choose the lapis shards. With crafter you can't really do that, but thermal expansion is fine with that. We have a new problem. Fighter grow. Oh my goodness. I had no idea that one day I will run out of fighter grow. Appetite, actually. It's fine. I'm sipping. For making one ultimate solar panel, we need 250,000 leadstone solar panels. So I made this crafter. It's taking in the lapis shards, it's making us the cores, photovoltaic cells, iron nuggets, and finally, hopefully the leadstone solar panel, if I have not messed it up. So you remember everything. Oops, I'm breaking my own base. Oh my goodness. And now we just need to set up some patterns. Iron ingot gives us the nugget, lead gives us the nugget, steel also gives us the nugget, glass gives us the panes, photovoltaic cell, the core, the leadstone solar panel. Perfect. So if I provide this guy with power, are you gonna work? Oops. Yeah, they have to be internal buffer. My bad. So yeah, it does make the leadstone solar panel. Finally. So now the question is, do we give it a pattern or does it work consistently? I do have a door. I think with the amount of resources that we have, this can work forever. So let's have an export bus, acceleration cards, and we just export the ingredients. So does it work? Takes a bit of time to warm up, is the thing. But yeah, it's working. Glass is a problem. Actually, maybe not. It just warmed up. We're constantly making it. Yeah, power is very important. That's a decent rate. For the moment it's keeping up, but what if we... Oh, it's already on fast. Also, the supply of appetite is still garbage. We're not making enough phyto grow. I think I'm consuming around 100, 120 per second or something. It's fine, I do have a decent iron production as well as lead and everything, so we can just put extra seeds. Even I don't need the sulfur. I have 10 million. Now we're gaining it a bit. It does seem that I have reached a point in the game that I'm using so much phyto grow that I need to produce phyto grow somehow. Cause yeah, extra seeds were not cutting it. Also with the new setup for solar panels, I ran into an additional problem, and that is sand. And I don't really have that much time because sand is running out. Well, I do have time, maybe an hour. That seems to have taken care of our phyto grow situation. Still, you might notice that we're consuming it at a crazy rate. But at least now we're gaining it. That's a good thing, I guess. 2 rows of phytogenic insulators are for appetite, 1 for saltpeter, and 1 for gold. Cause I did notice in order to make the stupid pulsating black hole, you need a ton of gold. So we also had an issue with sand because I was making solar panels, correct? My first instinct was to go with cobblestone generators, hammers, we convert them into sand, and then cook it into glass. But believe it or not, that was actually horrifyingly slow. So in return, I decided to go with phytogenic insulators. Again, I'm sorry. We have phytogenic insulators making us fire seeds, dirt seeds, and we're converting it into sand inside the crafter. That is a decent rate. Then we're extracting that sand. The priority is the old ammonium furnace so that we would be able to get glass, and anything which is not going inside the furnace goes inside the ender chest. So as a result, we're getting a ton of glass, which is amazing, and a decent supply of sand, which is not that bad. It seems that we have reached a place where everything is stable. We can go home. Also, maybe I should check the reactor. It hasn't exploded. I switched it from plutonium to polonium again because the tanks were getting full. We have 2381 plutonium and 2000 polonium and not an ounce of fluorite left. That could be problematic. The barrel is gonna get full. And by barrel, I just meant the tube. I arrived in time. It's fine. Gaze into my eyes. Mesmerizing, aren't they? Sometimes you make fun of me because of my janky setups. I just wanted to mention that in a session that I have already made a pulsating black hole and an ultimate solar panel, we are still having enough resources to make 2 more ultimate solar panels and 1 more pulsating black hole. So laugh all you want. Here is my supply of polonium. Get mesmerized. I can go back home and sleep. Moving on, very soon I have to face the Chaos Guardian and fight him, and apparently according to the wiki, his fighting style has changed, so I'm a bit scared. That's really to put it mildly. I'm terrified. So normally in the previous mod packs we used to have something called the last stand, meaning that every time you were supposed to die, you would just lose some experience. So in this mod pack we don't really have a shortage of experience, we have 652 levels, which is great, but there is no last stand. Is the thing. We do have totems of undying, but I think I need better armor first. You know, make ourselves OP. One of the things that you might notice is that in the draconic chest piece that I have, well, we have tons of armor, but we also have flight. And that's taking up a lot of space. So I was wondering, what if we make an angel ring? You know? Why not? We can upgrade it in order to consume power, and I don't really know the difference. The energetic angel ring seems to have more buffer, so there you go. And that means I don't need flight, because I can fly with my angel ring and at a decent speed. Besides, when the Chaos Guardian attacks us, our dislocator has a blink mode. We can just run away. That was stupid. So now that we have extra slots, what do we do with them? Good question. I don't know, but we need more armor. I put all the modules that you see over here on auto crafting. Well, basically the shield recovery module and the shield capacity module. So the shield capacity just gives you shield, and the recovery is how fast you would recharge that shield. The power capacity itself I don't think is very important because we do have the player transmitter from power and that's incredibly fast. Let's test the armor. We can have soulbound on the angel ring, on my backpack. Whoops, I broke the anvil. I'm sorry. And I think on the draconic chest piece. Good. Maybe the sword. Why not? Let's go find the Chaos Guardian. We're not gonna kill him. Obviously. We should be able to find the Chaos Island once every 10,000 blocks. That's gonna take a while, and I'm not flying that fast. Ooh. Mythic bosses. We got him. I actually need some of those. I want the OP armor. Oh, and yes, we do have a Totem of Undying. Just the one. We hold it. I just want to see how long I can last. That's it. If things go fine, we're going to hunt a few Chaos Guardians. If not, we just recover our grave and run away. I have to travel 5,000 more blocks with this garbage speed. But I think I can fix the speed. The good thing that they do spawn a lot. Wait. We are going to get into Apotheosis very soon, so I do need to have the parts. 7,000 blocks. We're close. Ish. 9,000 blocks, and I think very soon we just have to stop. Wait for the island to spawn. Yep. Oh, that's a meteor. I think that's not a meteor. That's the island. I just wanted to mention I'm ready to teleport back home. Yeah, this is the Chaos Island, okay. So, Chaos Island, set here. But we set it to home so that we can get back. Chaos Guardian? Hello? I don't see you. Where are you? Is this a bug? Uh-oh. Wait a minute. Can I get the Chaos Shard? Oops, he spawned. Does show you how many crystals are active. That's good. 14. He's also charging up. Where are you? Ah, very fancy. So what do you do? Nothing. We run. I took a huge damage from nothing. Yeah, you see, shield recovery isn't paying off that much. Well, let's try this again and try not to be stupid. Those are the crystals that we have to break, which I don't really want to. Whoop. Gravity. My goodness, did he just suck me in? I'm in a bit of a pickle. Let's go home. Rethink. I was just killing some wither skeletons and my client crashed, but basically we need to get into Apotheosis. You know, I think some of the gems are going to help us a lot. There is also a gem of Mage Slayer. Ignores 35% of magic damage and heals for the same amount. I do have a feeling that the Chaos Guardian does magic damage. I was following that. So in order to get into a bit of gem manipulation, we need to break some gems. You know, with an anvil. That gives us the gem dust. Then there should be a few things that we would be able to craft. Reforging table. The higher tier one requires arcane sands, which is perfectly fine. We need the gem cutter and salvaging. Oh, we're missing one gem dust. It's fine. I should have made the salvaging first. We use a garbage gem, it's fine. So, salvaging table, and I'm going to transfer everything from Apotheosis and magic into this hut. Is there a cow in here? For those of you who don't know, Apotheosis adds affixes to armor and tools. So if you look at this golden helmet, you might notice that it's purple on top. A golden helmet of darkness. That was amazing. They do have different tiers and they do give us different types of scrap. Mythic is the highest, mysterious scrap metal is garbage. It's kind of like Diablo. If we want to take out those parts, we need to put them inside the salvaging table, and voila. We get the parts. The rest of them seem to be just garbage. Oh, and yes, we have one mythic. This is what we're looking for. I installed the QIO dashboard so that we can have access to everything, which in hindsight, maybe we should have just put it here. Yeah, much better. But now that we know the basics, let's gather some parts. In the nether, I don't think you will find anyone who's going to be mythic. Let's go to the end. Yes, I also took an ability totem, so sometimes I do get resistance, and sometimes it goes away. It's very irritating, to be honest. You drop a totem, nausea. We have a good person. That's actually a decent boot. I'm just saying. One of the things that I forgot to mention is that in the recipe of the old mod store, at least in the version that I'm playing, there are no chaotic cores. And I'm never updating, so yeah. Technically speaking, we don't need any chaos shards. I just want it for the reactor. Another garbage totem. Somebody's mythic. Yes. Oh, it's an evoker. I want that one. He's gonna give us totems of undying. That's it. Let's get a few swaps. Yeah, some of them are Endermen. Jerks. Cool. We can kill him. I did manage to get a few bits and bobs. Some of them are mythic, some of them are just garbage. But yeah, this one was mythic. And this one. Also the gems that we're never ever going to use, we're just gonna salvage. Well, let's salvage everything now. Good. Ender Surge seems to be useful. +1 level to all existing enchantments, which you can upgrade it obviously. Then it's going to be +2 levels to all existing enchantments. Speed is nice. We don't care about gravity. Dodge chance. Okay. Max health, definitely. We're doing fine. Relatively. Going around and killing Apotheosis bosses in order to get different types of gems is not very efficient, because I'm lazy. And yes, he did spawn, which is good. Yeah, however, I have been trying a few things in the end. You should remember that one of the things that we want is the God-Forged Pearl. You know, this dude over here. Which, if I'm understanding everything correctly, mythic items only drop from Enderman, Shulkers, I don't know, things that spawn in the end. Well, even if they don't, Endermen have less garbage to deal with. So in order to automate the God-Forged Pearl and also the other shards, I was thinking, does a grinder work? And the answer is yes. If they do drop an item, of course. Let me find a big pack of Endermen. Okay. Do you see that crossbow? They always drop an item which has an affix. Doesn't have to be a boss like this guy, Mr. President. It can be any mob. So it can be automated. The other part where I was very confused is that, okay, let's say I get the items. How do I salvage them? Because this doohickey that you see over here, if you put the items inside and, you know, exit the GUI, the item is back in your hand. Apparently there is a neat functionality. You can use a hopper. So if you put the items in, they will be salvaged automatically. Now that we know the basics, I think the only thing that we need is going to be a vanilla Enderman farm. And we're going to make it at a very low Y level. You know, the spawn rates are going to be better. Also, let us not miss our center block. If I'm not wrong, if we're 32 blocks away from the platform, yeah, exactly, we get tons of Endermen. Oh my goodness. Well, I had to clean up the mess, but yeah, the rates are good. Let's count the blocks. That is 32 blocks away. That is perfect. Also, don't quote me on this. It seems to be 24 blocks away for hostile mobs to spawn. So I could have been wrong. For the purpose of killing them, I'm going to use a mob grinder from Draconic Evolution, but I'm assuming any kind of mob grinder will do. And we shall put it in the center. And also, they do require power. So I'm using again Draconic Evolution. Why not? It's wireless. Cables are garbage, except for my mouse and my keyboard. I hate wireless technology for those. In the recent version of Draconic Evolution, the mob grinders do have the ability to collect the items and put them inside an adjacent inventory. So there you go. And somehow they work like a vacuum hopper, which is perfect. They can also collect the experience and put it inside the tank like so. And let's give it a test. See if we get the experience. They're very cool. Not the fastest thing in the world, but it's cool. A couple of points. The Draconic Evolution grinder does not deposit the XP inside the tank, you have to collect it manually. The second point is that you might notice we're missing half the platform. Me has a plan. It is true that we can lure in the Enderman using vector plates, but Vanilla gives us a far better option. You know, Endermite. We just have to capture one. I'm going to use a mob imprisonment tool to capture him, but I think you would be able to capture him in a cage from supplementaries as well, if it spawns. Ah, we got one. Prince Thomas, you're named. And we take you to the end. A wise person should take some rails, and I think we do need to have a minecart. Also, we have to wait for all the Endermen to despawn. We don't want them to kill Prince Thomas. So, here is a minecart, and I think we can just drop Prince Thomas. He went in. Lovely. Oops, don't move. It's very difficult to place him in the center. Okay, that's good. We also have to make sure that the Endermen cannot touch him. Ever. Endermen are 3 blocks tall. We just don't give them the space. That should work. Yeah, this is 2 blocks tall. We're good. Let's try this. Oops, I missed a block. Let's see if it works. Okay, they're running towards him, and he seems to be alive. Yeah, he's alive. So the concept works, it just requires tweaking. The first tweak that I did is that we're using fence posts instead of actual blocks. Because in this way, even the Enderman who's standing here can see Prince Thomas. Also, some of the Endermen were spawning on this platform. I have half slabs. That's it. But now we need to take care of the loot. Hello, boys. And I'm going to use entangled blocks. I'm going to entangle one of the barrels to my platform up here. We shall have a trash can, and that is going to accept ender pearls and the ender pearl fragment, because we don't need them. All we are interested in is the items from Apotheosis. Oh, and the recovery heart from Forcecraft. That's gonna cause a problem, but it's fine. Here is the second barrel, and now at least we are getting rid of the junk, which is good. The salvaging table from Apotheosis seems to be smart enough, meaning that it's only going to accept the items which it can salvage. So I'm going to import the results into my QIO network. Yeah, very good. That's actually a good rate. I'm happy with that. We have salvaged everything except some garbage. That could be because I killed them manually. Oh, and by the way, I put a mega torch. I didn't want Enderman. Let's try this again. Well, the salvager is working. Yep. Very good. For what this farm is supposed to do, it's actually working great. Look, we have 74 God-forged pearls. That's amazing. Although, in the barrels, you might notice that we're getting a ton of totems and a ton of gear. Those are the things that we can later on extract and, you know, extract the enchantments out of them. But ladies and gentlemen, after ages and ages, I have Flight 1. The ability totem. It's not very useful, I guess. So for today, we are done with this farm. Let's get some gear. The MekaSuit probably is the best gear available to us, even though we have the draconic chest piece. But I think the MekaSuit also saves us a bit. So let us go to Brian, the fluid, and what we need to do is to get some lithium. Now that we don't need hydrogen chloride. How would you make lithium? If I remember things correctly, lithium is relatively easy. All we need is that we have to put Brian, the fluid, into another thermal evaporation tower. I'm right? Yes. So you don't need water anymore, and I kind of have to empty the content of this thermal evaporation tower. So let us get a trash can, and we're going to void Brian, the fluid. Yeah, we're out. Good. So Brian, the fluid, goes in, and we get, wow, lithium. Okay, that's what I wanted. Obviously, this is mechanism. You need a rotary condensator. Come on. We will take the lithium out, put it inside a rotary condensator like so. And yes, we're getting lithium. I think now we just need to have a crystallizer, right? Yeah, okay. Easy peasy. I have 10 and it's empty, okay. So we output the gas into the crystallizer. And that's it. We're done. I'm going to hook it up to an ender chest so that lithium goes back into our system. We give you power and some upgrades. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, that is lithium. Now we can make the MekaSuit. Because if you look at the recipe of the MekaSuit, you might notice we need an induction cell. And that requires lithium. I have not been home for a very long time. Let's hope the reactor is fine. Are you fine? We're out of fluorite. Use cram. Well, we have almost 5,000 polonium pellets. I don't think we need more. But I have also set patterns for the induction cells. Here is our modification station for the MekaSuit. Where do we put it? I don't know. This is my office, I guess. The modification table does require some power from the back, so there you go. And you know, we just cover it. Looks fancy. And now I should be able to make the MekaSuit if I have some... Oh, I do have the helmet. Nice. We do need netherite gear is the thing. I have my old stuff, so there you go. And with this, I should look super fancy. Yes, very fancy. I love this. However, now that we have the MekaSuit and we have the God-forged pearls, we can come to our reforging table. That's actually not the correct one anymore. We need to upgrade it to the reforging table, which has a max rarity of mythic. And basically what we want to do is that we want to roll until we get something amazing. That does require 150 levels. Nice. 10%, 6 to max health. I like health. So if I'm attacked, I will get bursting vitality. Don't know what it does. Physical damage is reduced, and I also get instant health every 12 seconds. That's not bad. Don't like the Elytra flight though. We might have to roll them several times. We will see. Oh, I gained instant health on the leggings. I can get invincible. I just upgraded my MekaSuit with energy unit upgrades, meaning that it can hold more power, and the charge distribution unit, meaning that power is going to be equally distributed between the different parts of armor. However, when I was walking by my base, I fell into witch water. Notice the difference. I don't really get damaged. So should we try the Chaos Guardian one more time? See if I survive. And of course, as usual, we're ready to run away. Whoa. Okay, I do get damaged. The shield is gone. How are you supposed to survive this? Wrong place. One of the reasons that I am not upgrading my draconic tools is that I need to automate a few things in draconic evolution. And by that, I just mean the fusion crafting core. So this setup seems to work because if you look at the fusion crafting core, you might notice everything is fine. We are going to try and automate this thing using XNet because XNet has facades and we would be able to hide the cables. because you can see the roof. So I don't really remember what was the trick with automation of the fusion crafting core, but one of the things that I remember is that the injectors have two modes. One of them is single mode and stack mode. We have to put them on single. If we want to put 4 draconium ingots inside the system, not all of them will go into the same injector. Basically, what we need is a pattern provider, a stupid chest, which I am going to entangle it to an entangled block so that we would be able to read it from our XNet controller. So just for testing purposes, let us have a channel for items. We shall extract single items from the chest and just insert it into the crafting injectors. See if it works. Although I just realized we need one more entangled block, which will be set to the fusion crafting core. We have to put items inside that one too. So for something like the draconic core, here is the recipe. The pattern goes into our pattern provider, and in our XNet controller, we have to specify that, hey, put the nether star into the core. So if I order a draconic core, what can go wrong? That's something which is wrong. And those two injectors are too far. Okay, as it turns out, you can't be really fancy and put everything on the roof, so I put everything down here, everything is in range, and I'm just using entangled blocks for each injector. Secondly, the automation is relatively simple. If I order one core, you might notice everything comes to its appropriate place. And using a hovering hourglass, we gave a signal to the crafting core. We will get the core and it will go back into our system. This is just a teeny tiny bit of filtering. The nether star goes into the center one, the crafting core, and it does have a higher priority. So for everything that I want to craft, I just have to pay attention to filters. And there's one more thing. If I order 2 cores, we have 2 empty injectors, so the recipe is going to be messed up. So I have been checking what are the items that I'm going to craft frequently. One of them is going to be the draconic core, obviously. The wyvern capacitor is not very important, we just need, 3-4 of them. The draconic capacitor is just an upgrade to the wyvern version, but we want the draconic energy relay crystal, and that also takes 9 slots. So I can fill the 2 empty ones with the wyvern energy controller, like so. That's 4 diamonds and 1 core. And I guess that's it. Let us see if it works. Here is the pattern. I just have to add the wyvern energy relay crystal in the center. And that's it. We order 1 set of draconic energy relay crystals. Everything should go according to plan. Yep. It got activated. Perfect. For the draconic cores themselves, we can order 20. Nothing should go wrong. Fine so far. Yep, the timer is set to 6 seconds, so there could be a bit of delay. That's it. Otherwise it works. And I'm happy. Even if one day we need to make some chaotic cores, I think we're good. There's nothing going to be messed up with the filtering. You see, the problem arises from here. For example, if you want to make the wyvern capacitor, you need a wyvern core in the center, which is perfectly fine. We can just set a higher priority. But once you want to make draconic cores, they go in the corners. I just went to get a few gizmos and yeah, the draconic cores are being crafted. You see, we're getting the items. This time I pressed it manually. Anyways, one of the things that I noticed is that the player transmitter from Power is not as fast as I was thinking. It took ages for my MekaSuit to recharge, so we do need some capacitors from Draconic Evolution. Work. How many did I order? 4 more to go. Okay, finally, I can have my capacitor. 3 items went in. You're on single mode. We shouldn't ask questions, I guess. But yeah, we have our capacitor. Honestly speaking, I was hoping for more space. That's it. 16 slots. It's fine. The only thing that it requires is a Draconic Energy module. 16 of them. I have upgraded the capacitors to Draconic and yeah, they take 25 upgrades each. That's a total of 400 million RF. That's good. Also, another thing is that you have to enable everything, otherwise it doesn't work. Yeah, that's a decent buffer. I have been trying a few things in order to face the Chaos Guardian, and well, I do have some news. First off, we do have a decent bow, but you might notice that, for example, I have something called projectile velocity. So yeah, it does increase the velocity a lot, but there are other things from Apotheosis. You see, if you put the perfect lightning gem on your bow, you're going to get plus 55% arrow velocity. And it's not even unique, so you can put 2. Then there's a perfect gem of the samurai. If you put it on your helmet, plus 50% arrow velocity. Then there is another one which is the perfect gem of the combatant, plus 50% to arrow damage. So from our wither skeleton farm, I am getting some of them, but this could take a crazy amount of time. I will try to harvest them in between the episodes, don't you worry. At least as best as I can. In any case, next episode, we shall face the Chaos Guardian. And I shall get Chaos Shards and I shall have a Draconic Reactor. Obviously not in this island, we're just gonna do it inside AE2. But with that, ladies and gentlemen, I think it's also a good time to wrap up the episode. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. Till the next one. Bye bye.